name is Mark Muhammad. I'm from Hideous Maximum, and today we will be interviewing one of the top linemen in the nation, Jaeden Roberts from the University of Alabama. We also have a co-host here from the Bama Standard in the Crimson Dynasty, Miss Cishi. Say hello, Cishi.
Hi, my name is Cishi Payne. So I'm actually the host of the Crimson Dynasty. We're basically a sister channel of the Bama Standard Network, which you can find on YouTube. So we had the pleasure of having Jaeden Roberts on recently, actually a couple times. And I mean, I think that our viewers are supported. You actually gain more supporters just being who you are, which is what you needed, because I think your season last year, it was just the epitome. And I know that your ceiling is so far up. I don't think you can reach it, in your college career. So we're glad to have you here. I'm really excited to learn more about you as a person. I think a lot of times we see you on the field and just your size and all of that, and people just get googly eyed over that. But I want to know, who is Jaeden Roberts? So if I were to ask you, who is Jaeden Roberts, what would you say?
I would say Jaeden Roberts is passionate, stubborn.
Stubborn.
I can be very stubborn. But I'm just a really hard worker. Everything that I do in and out the day, and just growing up playing football. Just having good parents. I grew up a hard worker. Everybody has to do something to, get through life and, try to make a career for themselves.
Right.
I understood that to do that, I had to work hard, probably more than anybody else did. But, growing up, that's what I had to do. So I'm a very hard worker. I'm very thankful for everything. I'm humble. God has blessed me with a lot of great things in my life that, I'm very fortunate to have. And, I'm very humble for that. And, I'm just a very humble person.
Yeah. And a lot of times when I hear you, I get little brother vibes from you, even though you're so much bigger than me. So it's like, how is that even possible? But I always get little brother vibes from you. So I want to know, let's go back to your childhood, when you decided that you wanted to play football. What was that like? When did you know that you wanted to be a football player?
So it's crazy. So I didn't even want to play football at first. As a kid, you want to go outside, play with your friends,
Right.
and, just goof around. But, thanks to my parents, I was blessed with people that, they wanted me to continue to stay active as a kid and just have something after school, to keep my mind
Yep.
off of other things, outside of school. So, I actually played track and I did basketball at first.
Okay.
So yeah, I did that for a little bit. Didn't like it. Track, they actually made the big boys run, so that wasn't very fun. Basketball, we had to do some running. I just wasn't a runner. Let's say that. But I got into football around probably 10, maybe 11. You know what I mean? Starting out. Kind of just in the little leagues, and then just kind of playing football for that amount of time, going through school. All my friends playing football too, so that made me want to play for the school and everything. But I always loved football after that. My parents pushed me to be great at football. And just really challenged myself to get better. And, my brother, he played football too, but he played a little grade above me. So, so intentionally, I wanted to follow him to play football. But I always played football. Always had a passion for it. You know what I mean? So.
Okay.
So what and who motivated you growing up, and what was the challenges in Houston?
Right. I had a lot of people that, I kind of just grew up and I idolized them, you know what I mean? I idolized my mother, I idolized my grandparents, my stepfather, my brother, the trainers that helped me every day to get better and push me to keep working hard even though when things are tough. And I always had good coaches to be a role model for me. So I would say I was blessed with a lot of great people in my life to give me that support, you know what I mean? So, I was just very fortunate to have those people in my life. But overall, I would say like, you know, everybody contributes in some way to helping me, you know, just building my character and being the person I am today. The challenges in Houston that, you know, I would say like every kid will probably go through, you know, just moving schools. You know, we was in high school when we moved to Houston, and it was my junior year, and I knew that with the opportunities that came with going to Houston, you know, we talked about it. This was something that we talked about. You don't just move, you know what I mean? So when we made the decision to move to Houston, this was for the better of our future, you know what I mean? To keep playing football, to get coached by people that you know, you go play football anywhere, but you know, we knew that Houston, you know, it was going to be a challenge because everybody was either a 5-star or a 4-star in their own ranking. You know what I mean? Texas is a hard place to. I wouldn't say it's just the only hardest place, but Texas is one of the hardest places to play football. You know, just get recognized just because a lot of kids are out there. You know what I mean? So you go into a school that has 6A, 5A, you know, and you probably not the one standing out, but you gotta make sure you are. So that was some of the challenges in Houston that I had to go through. You know, there's a lot of kids that are getting looked at, and you know, get looked at for colleges, but you know, just I had to do what I had to do to stand out. You know what I mean?
So what separated you from you and your peers in the neighborhood and on your teams?
I was determined. No matter what, I'll always be determined. No matter the outcome, no matter the situation that we're in, I'm gonna be determined. You know, I got a strong will. I get that from my mother and my grandmother,
Okay.
and I'm blessed to have that. You know what I mean? So, you know, yeah, yeah, I mean, strong-willed, and I don't let anything, you know, push me down or take me out the game because I know what I'm fighting for. I'm fighting for something bigger, you know, down the road, you know, for my future family.
So what that sounds like is you know what your why is, why you're doing this. Now, speaking of having a strong will and just you being strong physically, were you always this big?
Yes. Yes,
Like when you were
always
growing
big.
up, were you always like one of the bigger guys?
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yes. You know, I would go to school, and you know, you'll probably get a couple of tall people, but I was truly the biggest person.
Like you were the guy.
Since second grade.
Yeah, yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah, you know, I was a big baby. I was healthy. You know, my mother, grandmother, my family fed me. You know, good Southern cooking.
Speaking of feeding, what I asked Mom what the grocery bill was like, and that's what she said. She over there laughing.
She got a receipt. She got a receipt, and I don't blame her because you know that's what mothers do. You know,
yes, sir.
That's what mothers do, and you best believe I'm gonna pay that back in full.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Now she said, your home was the home where all the kids used to hang out and love to come. I said, well, it sounded like it was a loving home, and it sounded like you can cook.
She can cook.
She can cook.
She cook everything.
Yeah, she can cook.
From neck bones to lasagna. She can
Not
cook.
the neck bones.
Yeah.
Now I want to ask you something that I was thinking about it as you were speaking, and I know that sometimes people kind of go through these moments, especially as they're getting older, not even just in sports, but just their career field. Was there ever a time where you thought about quitting football? So like childhood, going into middle school, high school, have you ever thought about maybe this isn't for me?
Not necessarily. I would say not necessarily quitting football, because once I got a passion for something, I don't ever want to quit it because you know that's just not how I was raised. I was never raised to quit unless I had a necessary reason to quit that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So everything I did, I would do it with full effort, and I'm giving it all I got until I can't give no more. You know what I mean? So just growing up, I never truly quit on anything. So I would say there was never really a time. Now there was a time where, you know, things are tough and you don't know if this is the decision that you want to make, but I'm glad I stuck with, you know, staying football because I knew this was something that would truly help me down the road. The relationships, you know, the people that you go play football, you know, the coaching, training staff, and then just overall the people, the fans, like this is something very special, and a lot of kids don't get this opportunity.
Exactly. And that's a part of it is just being grateful. I think a lot of times, just in general, people kind of forget to, have that humble mindset. And I think, just listening to you, to me, what stood out is character, because character, it can really take you far, even, much further than money, to be honest. So I want to know, outside of football, are there any hobbies or anything in particular that you like to do or that you're really good at that maybe your fan base isn't aware of?
I listen to music, country music,
Country music.
jazz.
Okay.
Yes, I do like to listen to music, different genres of music. I do love to read. I do love to read. I mean, honestly, other than that, like everybody knows, I lift in the gym. Like that's my passion. That's my hobby.
How much are you lifting now?
Now if you're asking for days, I lift like week and weekend. Like the grind never stops. Honestly, like I just lift.
Okay, now, but how much though? 800?
I mean, depending on the workout, I would say I squat about 900 pounds.
You're squatting 900.
Mhm.
And you just say, like that's normal. Like that's, it's not.
It is.
No, it's not. It's not. It's normal for you, but to me, that's astronomical. But that's awesome. So I want to know more about, because I like to read as well. Now I want to know for you, what is that like? Is that more nonfiction? Like, do you feel like it's more biography, or is that just a way for you to just kind of escape a little bit? And
I would say both.
Okay.
You got great biographies by a lot of talented athletes that talk about their lives and the challenges that they had to go through. I love reading about that, and the documentaries that come out on Netflix, Hulu, all of that. It really just gives the background of their life and what they had to do to be the successful person that they are now. I find that very interesting because one day I want to be like that.
Exactly.
I'm just trying to, find the details, what they do every day, and then out the day too.
And one day your story is still being written, but one day there will be books on the shelves with your face on there, and whatever they want to call you, the incredible, whatever they want to call you, the Hulk, the bulldozer, whatever that looks
With
like.
God's blessing, yes, ma'am.
So one thing I love about you, Jaden, is as me and you, talk and communicate, you want to know, you want to be informed, and step by step and all the details, and that's great for a business person. That's just great to be that way. Just don't do something or be a part of something. Know what you're doing. Be real informed, and that's who you are. So, if they think Jaeden Roberts just a football player, I'ma tell them he's way more than that.
Yeah, you gotta be, you gotta be very intellect with what you're doing nowadays because college athletes, they're getting more opportunities, but they're not smart with what they're doing. You know what I mean? So when I go through this process, as I finish this process, because I graduate in August, which is a very huge, thank you. It's a very huge accomplishment for me, and just plan to get my master's as well. I understand, like, financially and, opportunity-wise for my career, I gotta be smart and the relationships that I build and just make sure I stay out of situations that might harm my future. You know what I mean?
That's
so
right.
I just try to take the best route possible to be safe. And of course, keep the people around me safe as well.
And so you're very intentional. That's what that sounds like.
Right.
You say, yeah, you have to be, especially nowadays. Now, I have a question for you. So looking at where you are now as a person, as a player, you're about to graduate in a few months. Is there any advice that you would tell your younger you? Anything that you've learned along the way, or any advice for, let's say, a young guy who may be 10 or 11, trying to decide if he wants to play football? Is there any advice that you would give him?
Yeah, never quit. Never quit, no matter how hard it is. And it's crazy. Like, I would tell my younger self, like, just stay true to your character and like your ideal of being an athlete. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of people, when they get to a certain point, they lose sight of either their character or their determination of what they're doing. You know what I mean? That's why you don't see a lot of consistent, young athletes. That's why they're flip-flopping the transfer portal. That's why they're spending all this money getting into trouble that they're not supposed to even be getting in trouble. You know what I mean? Like they start to lose sight of what is truly important when you come to college as a student athlete. You know what I mean? Especially when you come to a school like this. Alabama is known for making legends. So why not take the opportunity to do that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I just want to say, like, for all the younger people, athletes, like, this is truly something important when you come to college. Like, take it serious because this is the once in a lifetime opportunity. A lot of kids don't get.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
You get it. You get it. I known that from like the second week me and you was communicating. You get it. Your parents did a real good job with you.
sir, you only get one shot.
Yeah, yeah. And
You know what I
like you
mean?
said, just realizing that there are so many young men out there who wish they could be in your shoes, but I think that character aspect of it is what keeps you grounded, and to where you, like you say, you move intentionally. So you're not putting yourself in situations to where you could end up losing your scholarship. You know what I mean? You're thinking a little bit, having foresight, if you will. So no, I really enjoyed this talk, Jaden. And honestly, I think that, you have a very bright future ahead of you. I think that you know that, but I don't think you know just to what extent. I think you're going to see that soon. But, I think before we end the interview, is there anything else that you want to, share with the viewers? Anything that they should be expecting of and seeing you this upcoming season?
Yes, ma'am. Everybody should be expected to see my merch hopefully soon.
Yeah.
By the time we got the ideas for the names now, and we got the ideas for the images, now we're just gonna start putting everything together piece by piece, and then once we get the website up, everybody will have an opportunity to go check it out. I'll make sure to hopefully drop some previews of what everything looks like. If anybody has ideas, I am open, and I would love to hear those ideas. And I would just like to say one thing for the young athletes out here. Please thank the people that are supporting you every day because they're not always here forever. You know what I mean? So just take that time, be thankful, be humble, and just do them as much as you can to let them know that you love them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yes, ma'am.
I like to say something to the fan base of the University of Alabama. You got a young man like Jaden and other young men that's on the team that didn't jump in that portal. There's different levels to NIL. You got the collective, then you got the community. This all is a team concept. The community has to step up and do their part. When you got people like Jaden, and we're bringing on Keanu, and they stood their ground and showed their loyalty to the University of Alabama. Now the community, the fan base, need to step up and do your part and support these young men in their endeavors. And I just want to say that because I visit different campuses and athletes are quick to jump in the portal. No loyalty. These guys got loyalty. Now show them love.
Yeah. Agreed. Well, I really appreciate it, Jaden. I think it's, we had already spoken before, so I think that chemistry has already been there, but I really appreciate it. And it just helps us get to know you more as a person. The merchandise that's coming out, these people who, they say they're your fans, but my thing is like, put your money where your mouth is.
Right.
Support Jaeden Roberts, support the bulldozer. These players on the team, they call you the Incredible Hulk for a reason. You're saying that you're squad 900, that's not normal. But it's normal for you. So we really appreciate your time. Look, I'm looking forward to seeing you this season, and I'm going to be rocking 77 unless your number changes at some point. I'm going to be rocking it, and
That is the iconic 77 number.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
iconic. Well, thank you so much for your time.
CC and Mark, thank you very much. Thank you to your podcast and the Bama Standard as well. The fan base, thank you so much, and hope to see y'all in the future.
Roll Tide, and if they ain't
Tide.
wearing crimson.
Hey,
I'm just saying.
You ain't rolling with the team, man.
I'm
If
just
you
saying.
ain't wearing crimson, you ain't rolling with the team.
You ain't.
All right, and we'd like to thank the Paul Bryant Museum and Mrs. Olivia Arnold for making this possible. We're in this beautiful facility, this beautiful museum, and hey, they made it happen for us, so thank you.